The first Rocky movie is special. Back in the mid-70s, a man named Sylvester Stallone would watch a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner.
Round one, the bell sounds, and here we go. Wepner comes bouncing across the ring and looks as though he wants to be aggressive right away. Ali, known for slow starts, circling ever so patented to the left. He'll try and show his footwork early in the fight.
This match between these two fighters gave Sylvester Stallone an idea for a movie called Rocky. He would go on to write the script for Rocky, and after 3.5 days, the entire script of Rocky was completed. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, would sell the script to two producers, Irwin Winkler and Robert Chardoff, for $360,000. But there was a catch. Sly only agreed to sell the script under the condition that he play the lead role, Rocky Balboa. The movie itself is one of my favorite films of all time. Many consider this to be the best Rocky movie in the entire franchise, which is a pretty base take, I'm not gonna lie. This movie still gives me goosebumps every time I sit down to watch it. Not only do I appreciate this movie for what it teaches us, but also from a filmmaking perspective. The style and the overall way this film was made is amazing, and I really do appreciate that aspect of this movie. But easily the best part about this film is its writing. Who knew a guy with $106 in his bank account who sold his dog to pay for his bills would be such a phenomenal writer? But what is it about Rocky 1 that is so special? Is it because it's a boxing movie? That it's a love story? Can we even pinpoint as to why the first Rocky has a special place in so many people's hearts? Well, let's find out. So grab some popcorn, relax, and let's take a look at why Rocky 1 is so special. When we begin Rocky, it opens and introduces us to Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. I think this was a perfect way to introduce him, because when we first see him, he's slow and so stubborn that he won't even take advice from what looks like to be his temporary trainer. I say temporary because after this, we never hear or see of him again. Rocky is in the dirt, and I don't say that lightly. The whole time we spend with Rocky, it's hard not to view him as a loser, but at the same time, we feel for him. He's in a position in his life where there doesn't seem to be anything good going for him. The life of Rocky isn't one that is glamorous and enviable, unlike Apollo Creed, who is the complete opposite of Rocky Balboa. Talented, charismatic, successful. Rocky is, like I said earlier, a complete loser. His IQ is not very high. In this example, he can't open his lock to his locker, and immediately assumes that he just can't remember it. So he pulls a piece of paper out from his hat that has the right combination and tries again, but it still doesn't work. Rocky, now visibly frustrated, grabs the fire extinguisher next to him and breaks into the locker, ultimately discovering that someone else has moved in. I really like the way Sylvester Stallone wrote this because it reveals to us quite a few things. First is how the movie subtly tells us that Rocky doesn't trust himself to remember his own lock combination, because Rock himself doesn't believe him to be that smart. And then when we see him visibly frustrated that the written combo didn't work, he's not perspicacious enough to piece together that the gym moved him out. So, almost poetically, he uses brute force to break the lock. Rocky is oftentimes disrespected. For example, in this sequence, Rocky discovers a girl that he knows is seen with bad company. The advice Rocky gives to this girl is actually really good, but it doesn't matter because it all goes into the trash.
Hey, Marie, take care, you know?
Hey, Rocky.
Yo.
Screw you, creepo.
She actually appears in the movie Rocky Balboa, or what most call it, Rocky 6. I like to think that because so many people disrespect Rock, that leads him to view himself as a lesser person. He believes himself to be dumb because the people around him believe him to be dumb. That's why he fights. He doesn't fight because he's got something to prove, or that he wants to be the greatest fighter to ever live. No, he fights because he believes that's all he can do.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance. Hey, yo.
He believes that's all he's good at, but this is why the movie's final fight is so iconic.
And it's kind of funny. I was obsessed with Rocky. Rocky 1 in particular. And when I was a kid, I come home every day and I watched this fucking show, Rocky. And I would fast forward with the little VHS tapes to round 14. Round 14 fucked me up like nobody's business. Why? The song came on. When I bought the pull-up record, I listened to the song for 17 hours. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds. And I'm able to visualize and dream like nobody's business. And I know that I can create a vision that many people can't. And I work for it. So the vision I had was when Apollo Creed beat the fucking shit out of Rocky, beat the shit out of him, he kept fighting. He was a dumb fighter, Couldn't read, that was me. Couldn't read, couldn't write, just punchy, everything about him. And Rocky Apollo beat the shit out of him. He was in that corner and everybody was saying, stay the fuck down. And him getting up, Apollo Creed raised his arms up in the fucking air, turned around, thought he won the fight. He turns around and sees this guy getting up, and it was the face of Apollo Creed that changed my life. The face of Apollo Creed. It was like, just by that motherfucker getting up, not winning, just by him getting the fuck up, Apollo Creed was his champ, he's the best. Rocky had taken his soul, had literally taken his soul. His head goes down, he looks at him like, what the fuck are you? I wanted to be that, not Rocky. I wanted to be the guy that people looked at, I don't care if you like me or didn't like, I don't care, but said, this motherfucker is gonna keep coming after whatever the fuck is in front of him. I wanted that.
It's his stubbornness that allows him to go the distance with Apollo. Another thing that I love about this film is how it depicts Rocky's view on Apollo Creed. When Rocky is offered to fight Apollo, Rocky says that he wouldn't mind being a sparring partner. The promoter tells him that Apollo wants a real match. Rocky tells him that that would be a bad idea because Rocky wholeheartedly believes that this match would not be a very good one. Rocky believes that Apollo is the greatest boxer alive. Just more evidence that Rocky doesn't have much belief in himself, and I love that aspect about Rocky. Adrian, to me, has always been just Rocky's love interest. When I was little growing up with these movies, I always just thought of her as the girl Rocky dates and then in Rocky 2 ends up marrying, but nothing beyond that. But as I've gotten older, I've come to the realization that Adrian is much more than that. She actually has an arc in this movie. Before getting into a relationship with Rock, she's very reserved and very quiet, very shy. This is shown through multiple occasions. At the pet store,
Like flying candy. Hey, Bird, you want to fly me home? You need somebody to walk you home, No. It's a cold night, if I was you and you got the money.
on the first date, this shy and reserved attitude leads to social anxiety, as seen when Polly brings Rock to the house so that Rocky can take her out on a date.
Yo, how you doing? I told you she's very excited.
Why didn't you tell me you were bringing him here? You look at me, I'm not ready for this.
This type of behavior leads Adrian to allow people to disrespect her.
You want the bird? Go in the alley and eat the bird.
Oh,
So upon rewatching this film, I have grown a deeper appreciation for Adrian. I get after all these years why people say Rocky is a love story and not a fighting movie, because Adrian and Rocky both complement each other very well. For more details on that topic, I highly suggest Cinema Stick's video on Rocky. Really good video, I highly recommend it. Anyways, as we've just discussed Adrian's arc in standing up for herself, we also see Rock's arc complete by the end of the film. One aspect of Rocky that I think Creed failed to understand was what Rocky meant as a whole. You see, I love the first Creed. I think it is an absolutely great movie. But what it tried to do was recreate that feeling we all got from when we first saw Rocky 1, and it just doesn't. I love Michael B. Jordan, but he's incomparable to Sylvester Stallone in the first installment. Let me explain. When we start Rocky, he's introduced to us as this character, stated previously as this dumb and disrespected man from the streets. When we are first introduced to Adonis Creed in Creed 1, he's this really good-looking man. I mean, come on. He's Michael B. Jordan. Rocky was portrayed as a lovable piece of shit, and we can also tell he's good at boxing, as well as accounting. The point is that Rocky only became a boxer because he couldn't do anything else. Adonis doesn't have those same limitations that Rock did in the first movie, so when he loses to Ricky Conlon, it doesn't feel the same as when Rocky loses to Apollo, because Rock just wanted to go the distance with Apollo, and for Rock, that would have been a win in itself. He didn't care whether he won or lost by the end. That's why Creed 1 didn't succeed in recreating what Rocky 1 first established. The main reason is because Sylvester Stallone got inspiration from a fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Creed 1 got inspiration from Rocky 1. Fans of the Rocky universe have a high regard for this film. I mean, this is the movie that started it all for the next movies in the franchise. From Rocky 2 all the way to the upcoming Creed 3 movie that is slated to be released in March of this year. Without this movie, we wouldn't have Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. Rocky 1 has gone down as one of the best films of all time. And it's not just because it's a love story or that it's a boxing movie. It's because it's relatable. Balboa being this character that is dumb, awkward, and stubborn, but at the same time lovable and memorable, is what makes Rocky 1 so special. Thanks again to those of you out there still watching this video. I really enjoyed making this one. I guess I should also wish you all a happy new year. 2022 was a great year for the channel. We passed milestones that I didn't think we would hit until 2024. So, thank you. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you, and I am grateful that I am able to do this type of work. For 2023, I just hope it's a really good year for movies and TV shows. And seeming how the pendulum for good content is swinging back this way, I reckon it will be. And I hope we can grow this community more. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna go soak in the hot tub now. Peace.